Hello guys, peace of the Lord with everyone. We continue showing you how wonderful is the teaching of the Quran, especially about the chastity. You know, this surah have two things actually I want to talk about. First, I want to, we will go by order. The first one in this surah, it's really sick. Why? Because the Quran in every verse allowed in slavery. But this surah in here is allowed in not only slavery, slavery is approved in Islam, it's normal. It's part of Islam. This is why Muslims country, they cannot sign the slavery law, the human right law in the United Nations. Because if they sign that, it's going to be like as if they are signing something against their Quran. You cannot sign a law against your Quran teaching. So Quran allowed the slavery, you should allow the slavery. You cannot stop slavery. Anyway, so in this surah, as you see, it says it's also forbidden women are already married. Okay, so it's forbidden for you as a Muslim man to have sex with married women. Until now, this is great. I like that. But look, except those whom your right hand process, which mean who? Like women, they are married, are forbidden for you. Except who? Except those who they are your right hand process. So those right hand process, they are married and they are accepted as exception. So the exception saying you cannot have sex with any married women, but those slaves you have in your hands, if they are married, they are not forbidden it. It's also forbidden women already married. So the women already married are forbidden for you if they are the free women, not the women you own in your hand as a slave. So if they are a slave, you can have sex with them. So this will show you that how wonderful and how justice is the God of Islam. He is not allowing, like if the Quran saying, okay, you can have sex with your slave, but she is not married. At least she is not married. But a woman, she is married. She have a husband, and you are allowing the man who own her to have sex with her. And when you say it's not forbidden for you, a woman you own, which mean if I own a slave, let us say I have 10 boys, 20 boys. Arab people, they have a lot of kids. So this is mean all my kids, me and my kids, because we own this woman, all of us, we can have sex with her. Because it's what it's saying. Even if she is married. So imagine if I have 20 sons, all of them, they are men. And I am the owner, and they are my sons, which means they are the owner too. So all of us, we can sleep with this slave, rape her, and she is married. And she cannot say no. So you see, Allah is God of justice. He is a very merciful God. And the Muslims will say to you, we care about, the woman, she cannot have more than one man, because Islam do care about knowing who is the son, belong to who. Now, if more than 20 men, they are sleeping with one woman, who is the father? How you will know? And here it doesn't say, it's talking about one person, by the way. Why? Simply because whoever owns this woman can have sex with her. As an example, when you go and buy a car, let us say me and my cousin, we bought one car. What does that mean? It's mean both of us, we can drive her. So whoever have a share in that car, he can jump in the top of that car. I think that the picture is clear now, right? So whoever owns those women, he is allowed to have sex with them, and even here, he can rent them to others. And we will show you another verse in the Quran showing that Muslims, they use to force women to do prostitution. The Quran said, as an answer for that, force them not if they choose chastity, but if you force them, Allah will forgive you. So prostitution in Islam is allowed. Muslims, they will lie to you and they say, no, 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 that's not true. I will show you that later. But in here, this is a lot more ugly from prostitution. This is a married woman, maybe 100 times they will sleep with her at the same time. And this is God, Allah, is teaching me what to do with her. But remember, the Muslims will come to the, especially the black African American. I feel sorry for them, those African who converted to Islam. Anyway, they are coming out, most of them, very soon. We are doing a great job with those brothers, because they've been deceived. The Muslims told them, you see what the white man did to you? You see what the white man did, in America? They bought you from Africa. By the way, the one who was selling slaves from Africa to the West, it was the Arab Muslims in North Africa. Everybody know that. They go, they capture non-Muslims and they sell them to the Western. Until now, there's more than 2 million Sudanese a year. A year. Scary number. Most of them, they are kids. They are sold all over the world, especially to countries like Saudi Arabia, like Emirat, like Qatar. Until now, if you go and search right now for human being slavery, you will see in the top of the list all the Islamic countries. Number 1 in the top, Saudi Arabia, Emirat, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, etc. So those people, they are trading slavery because slavery is part of their religion. So they will go to the black man, African black man, and they will say to him, you see what the white man did to you? What the white man did have nothing to do with God. And the white man, he fixed that. And he said his sorrow. Now, why you didn't fix that in your Quran? If what the white man is a shame, why you go and you don't go and you take all those verses in your Quran and you burn it and you say what? No more slavery. We are people who support the humanity. Why you don't take this verse in here, the one that says, even if a woman, she is a slave, a black slave woman, even if she is a slave and married, even if she is married, I will have sex with her because Allah allowed me to do so. So don't talk about others when you are living in the world of slavery. Your God is the God of slavery. Everything in Islam about slavery. Even when you go to heaven, your God, Allah, will give you what? The lowest reward, 72 women for sex. Those are slave sex. Sex slave. 300 boys to serve you. This is what the Quran is saying. Those boys are slaves, or they apply for a job to work for your Majesty. Huh? Did they have a choice not to serve you? Do those women have a choice not to sleep with you? No. Allah will force them. They are slaves made for entertainment for you. So even the heaven of Islam is the heaven of slavery. Not only the earth of Islam is earth of slavery. Islam is a slavery from the beginning to the end. The Muslim is a slave of Allah, and everyone else, not a Muslim, he is a slave to the Muslims. It's a chain of slavery. So Muslims who talk about slavery and talk about dirt and talk about good and bad, look at your book and see what kind of book is the book he allowed in you to do that. And in here, by the way, you need to know that this is not a revenge. Like, maybe somebody will say, all days it used to be this way. If somebody enslaved my woman and he raped her, I rape his wife. No. In here it doesn't say that. It's not about punishment. A woman, she is owned by you. You can have sex with her even if she is married. So this is not about, like eye for an eye. You hurt me, I hurt you. You rape my wife, I rape your wife. That law, is not the case. Just to make things clear. So in here, Allah is approving that and making it legally approved. Part of Islam. You can have sex with married women. And not only you and your kids, and even you can rent that woman to anyone. You can give her as a gift to a friend to have sex with her. Like your friend, he will call you, hey Abdul, hey Muhammad, how you doing? I'm horny. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to send you a slave, so she will do some job for you. She will do some job like what? You know what is that? What I'm saying. So this is how clean Islam. This is how the chastity of Islam. So when Muslims talk about how filthy is the American, you know what? You have no way, no chance to compare your Quran to the most filthy American, because I believe the most filthy American, he is a lot more cleaner than your book. Otherwise, you tell me how your God approved this. Thank you all. Jesus is Lord. Amen.